says you've got to be rich in order to buy a supercar? This low-slung, high-powered, bright red rocket beside me is more fun than most people will know what to do with. And despite being filled to the gills with luxury features, top-tier audio equipment, and premium-like quality, it can be yours for a little over 30 grand.
As those who watch the show regularly will appreciate, I get to drive a fair number of exotic rides. So when I tell you that this little Mazda Speed 3 can put a smile on your face, please take me seriously. Mazda took its latest speed creation very seriously, knowing that it would be up against some pretty stiff competition. After all, Honda's new Civic Si, Mini's Cooper S, VW's GTI, and Chevy's Cobalt SS make about 200 horsepower apiece, making them seriously fun rides. Of course, as good as they are, these hot hatches and sporty coupes have just been thoroughly eclipsed by the Mazda Speed 3.
While an unassuming little hatchback, the Mazda Speed 3 shouldn't be taken lightly. Under the hood, there's a 2.3-liter direct injection turbocharged four-cylinder that makes 263 horsepower. That's giant power for a little car like this. And more importantly, it makes 280 pound-feet of torque from as low down as 3,000 RPM. It flies. Now, if you're used to a higher revving car like a Honda Civic Si, you might be a bit disappointed with the Mazda Speed 3. It only spins up to 6,700 RPM. But what matters more, of course, is what I mentioned before. It makes most of its power down low in the rev range, so you don't really need to spin it up that high.
Once you learn how to master the power, this is one quick little beast.
Now the Speed puts all that power through the front wheels with surprisingly little torque steer, and it does it with a 6-speed manual transmission with triple cone synchronizers in the first 3 gears. It may sound like fancy talk, but what it really means is that it's smooth. It shifts really nicely, and the shift intervals are really tight. Now that may take a little bit getting used to, but once you get used to it, it's quite sweet. The ride, however, is anything but smooth. Oh, sure, it's got a sophisticated multi-link rear suspension system to iron out the bumps, but in reality, it's been designed for performance first, so it's a bit harsh. Of course, the positive spin on that is incredibly good handling. This thing is amazing through the corners.
I've got no qualms about the car's stopping power, however, as these extremely large four-wheel discs with standard ABS don't hesitate in pulling it down from seriously fast speeds to standstill in a moment's notice. Even when used repeatedly, they don't fade away to non-existence like so many others do in this class, and a good, strong braking system means that in the end you'll get where you're going much faster and much safer. Keeping overzealous drivers in check is a standard stability control system that will literally pull a wayward car back on track, potentially saving lives, let alone embarrassment. And just in case someone hits you while you can't see, dual airbags come standard, as do side thorax and side curtain airbags.
I think you're going to be really impressed with the quality of the interior. It's not a premium car by any stretch of the imagination, but the fit and finish is excellent, and the plastics they're using are pretty good quality. The dash top has got a nice soft feel to it. Most impressive, though, is the center stack. It's nicely laid out with some backlit orange, and it looks terrific. The HVAC system, too, is automatic. It's easy to use, and it'll stay at a constant temperature all the time. The steering wheel of the Mazda Speed 3 has a perforated like leather, and it's a terrific looking wheel. On the right side, there's buttons for the cruise control. On the left side, audio buttons, and there's even a spot here you can press for muting the stereo system.
Something to consider is the Mazda Speed 3's price. Compared to a Subaru WRX, it's relatively inexpensive at about $31K, but most of its less powerful competitors are quite a bit cheaper. Really, for the same price you can get Volvo's new C30 with its turbocharged 5-cylinder upgrade, and for only a little more you can opt for Audi's A3. While neither of these cars is as sport-oriented as this little Mazda, they offer more prestige, although not a lot more luxury.
You know, all the luxury is nice, but I think that the car is just a bit too boy racer for me. I mean, with the big wing on the back, the big 18-inch rims, well, all that red. It's just, maybe I'm getting a bit old for a car like this. And to get beat up by the suspension every day, that might be a bit much too. I could get used to all that power though, if I could just keep hold of my license. I'm Trevor Hofmann signing off for the new driver's seat.